Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Nick here, back with a brand new XRP video. Today we're going to be talking more, basically, I would say more so about the quarterly results, also where I see the charts going, where pretty much Bitcoin dominance is, as well as Bitcoin, and really kind of seeing where we are headed. But I do want to address the fact that in my last video I was talking about the closed meeting date being the 7th. We just got confirmation that that date has now been canceled and moved to May 13th now. Who knows what's going to happen with that? They could be possibly getting more information regarding the case. I still believe that we are getting very, very close to a settlement. I think that the case is really falling apart on itself. But for the most part, we do need to look forward to the 13th now instead of the 7th. Hopefully that date doesn't get, pushed ahead again. We all know, from previous cases that the SEC kind of loves to, drag things as far as long as possible. The only issue is that, hey, we are going into a bear market in September, so we got to really keep an eye on things. Now, I don't think that the bear market officially starts in September. I think that we get a pretty deep dip around like the end of August into September. That probably lasts about 2 months into like October before we really start pumping back up, probably at the end of October into like November, and then kind of riding out until like around the end of December, kind of following the same structure as the 2017 and 2018 bull run. Now, I know that there's a lot of people saying, hey, if you keep getting your mindset to, what happened in 2017 and 2018 and think that this year is going to be the same, then you have issues. But at the end of the day, I still think that we are following that same pattern. I mean, it's clear signs, and I just don't think that we're going to pump continuously for 4 years or whatever the case may be, because I'm seeing like some astronomical people saying, yeah, we're just going to keep pumping until 2024, but that's honestly not the case, and nothing's an uphill battle in stocks or finances, so I think that at some point in time we do come back down. But nonetheless, let's get right into this. So this tweet is from XRP_Stewart, in which he says, last quarter total XRP sales by Ripple net of purchases were $150.34 million versus $76.27 million the previous quarter. The increase in XRP sales can be attributed to deeper engagement from key ODL customers. For well over a year, Ripple has not sold programmatically, and again, that's actually very interesting, because even if you do look here, so quarter four total ODL related sales was about $111.12 million, and then in quarter one of 2021, it increased by nearly about $39 million to $150.34 million. And then we also have total purchases here were $34.85 million, and then zero in the quarter one, with the sales net of purchases being $76.27 million in quarter four, and then $150.34 million in quarter one. And then of course we could see global XRP volume as well here. Overall, for the most part, everything increased except for total purchases, which is actually very interesting, because you would think quarter one was a horrendous quarter for, XRPs in term their image because of the SEC lawsuit. But it's very interesting that, although there was that kind of, gray sky over XRP, it did really good numbers overall. And not only that, but they increased their ODL customer base, which is incredible. And even if we read here, they even say quarter one 2021 was phenomenally strong for crypto, with the overall market cap ballooning to nearly $2 trillion for the first time. Check out the latest markets report for the insights and overall market, XRP ledger development, and more. And even if we do click here, they mentioned in this, let's see, 1 second, let me find it. So they mentioned here with like the key lawsuit updates as well. What I really like is the fact that they, kind of threw in John Deaton here, in which they mentioned, the 12,000 XRP holders and others claiming that the SEC does not represent and is in fact hurting their interest. And now I do want to say right now, if if you were an XRP holder during the time of this lawsuit and you got hurt financially from it, I would definitely go to John E. Deaton's Twitter and fill out his contact form for the class action lawsuit, I believe it is, for the SEC versus XRP, which is very interesting. But I want to mention the fact that it was actually pretty funny that Ripple was also awarded $3.5 million in attorney fees and costs. This is regarding the Tetragon's case. It's funny because Tetragon went against Ripple as basically just, saying, we're going to sue you because you pretty much harmed our investment because they were an investor in Ripple. It's funny because Ripple came out of the case basically winning in terms that Tetragon actually had to pay them $3.5 million, essentially hurting Tetragon's overall revenue cost, which was pretty funny. But we also see here that to meet growing demand for ODL, Ripple agreed to acquire 40% of Asia's leading cross-border payments specialist, Tranglo. This partnership will help Ripple expand the reach of ODL to the APAC region, starting in Southeast Asia and supporting existing corridors such as the Philippines. Disciplined, responsible stakeholders, Q1 sales and purchases. And we see here it does mention the 150 million versus 76 million. The increase in XRP sales can be attributed to deeper engagement, like we mentioned. And then we also have, for well over a year, Ripple has not sold programmatically. And it's actually awesome to actually really, see the fact that, they're not, this isn't mentioned that, they didn't sell for personal gain. It's just overall, for the most part, a lot of their sales were attributed to engagement from key ODL customers, which is pretty cool to see. Then we also see like reported volume, and you could really do a deep dive into this if you wanted to, but for the most part, the big key here is the fact that their ODL customer base really grew overall. But nonetheless, we could really see the fact that, even currently, even with this SEC case going on, yeah, sure, they're pushing the date further. At the end of the day, the asset's going to pump regardless of, the SEC saying that it's a security or a currency. Even if we look at the chart right now, we're currently trading at about $1.58. Now, we were trading at $1.60 in my last video. My last video to now is a little bit over like an hour old, give or take. It's maybe like 2 or so hours old actually now. But for the most part, we are still holding strong at the 155 to 160 mark. And I think that $2 is definitely in sight for probably around I would say the middle of next week. I think $2 could be very achievable by the beginning of next week, because in my last video, this is going back like 2 videos ago or so, I mentioned that we were going to see 45 to 44 in terms of Bitcoin dominance by Friday. Today is Thursday. We did get a touch at 44.72 actually. Here we have it here, which is great. We really broke down key levels, and I think as long as this continuously goes to drop and fall, while Bitcoin kind of stays stagnant, I would say, because it really hasn't moved too much in terms of price action, then we could really see the alts, break the shackles and kind of pump to parabolic highs. Now, some key levels to really look at here is what's going to happen shortly in the short term of things, because once Bitcoin dominance really finds support level, how it did if we go back to 2017 and 2018. Let me go back. So here's the support level that it found here at around roughly, if I zoom out here and kind of go back, really get a number for you. So it bottomed out at about 35.40, give or take, before really finding support at around 36.29 and kind of breaking off of that support and going back up. Now, I just want to stress the idea that, once Bitcoin dominance really finds support, and once Bitcoin kind of starts to fall, then the alts will come with it. So that's essentially when we see the altcoins kind of doing their pretty much last movements, and then they start to collapse, doing the 80% plus dip. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, but this year's different. There's going to be no bear market. I just want to stress the idea that this year's bear market is going to be the worst bear market that we've ever seen, ever. And I'll tell you exactly why. So, for an example, if we go back to the 2017 to 2018 bull run, and we really look at the high and the low. So the high is like $3.84 on XRP. Now this isn't showing us that all-time high, but that's okay because this is on Bitstamp. If I actually went to Binance for an example, Binance is 10 times better overall just for looking at this. And we actually look at this. So here it's showing me a different high, but that's totally fine because I was looking at the Coinbase one anyways. But even if we take the high here at $3.54, and we go back to the bottom down here, which is about 24 cents, you could pretty much tell that that's nearly, if we look at it from an actual percentage wise to this bottom, it's almost 100% dip. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But I just want to say that if XRP tops out at even, say for so, $10, I think that a larger dip's in store for it. So 100% dip would bring it to around pretty much the same point, which I don't think that we get to these key levels down here. I think this is like way too low. For me personally, some assets will do larger drops. Like for example, Doge is a perfect example of this. Doge will do over 100% drop in price point, I believe, because this is something that pumps hard and falls fast. For XRP, I'm ranging at us going much higher than $10. I'm thinking like $20 to $30 would possibly be our actual top. 10 to 15 to even 20 is a very conservative level. But even if we only top out at 10, I still think that we only fall down to about $4 or so, which wouldn't be bad for XRP. And the reason why I think that we only drop that far is because of how much money is actually going to be involved in XRP and its actual use case. Because right now, we already know what the use case is for XRP. We already know what it's going to be used for. It's going to be used for cross-border payments to really connect CBDCs together to really move money easily, scalable, and also just at a cheaper price. But I don't think a lot of people are accounting for how much money is going to be really in XRP overall. Now, it doesn't mean that all of the assets are only going to drop by, 50% or so. I think that they're all going to easily have their own dip together. But I just really want to say that, at the end of the day, this bear market's going to be bad because you're going to have institutional money getting pulled out. You're also going to see, there's so much more money in here now to really get, those rug pulls that happen, or just overall these major dips that we see, here. And even if we look at Bitcoin overall, we could see, that Bitcoin is also one that will do the same thing. So even if we look here, so we topped out at around, I think that they just added that one second. I'll use Coinbase for an example. Coinbase is better. So here we go. So here is our all-time high from 2017 to 2018 bull run. So we topped out at around, give or take, like 20K before getting sent back down to about 5-7, and then we kind of ranged back up, kind of ranged down, and continuously did that downward slide to about $3,000 flat. And we also hit that same almost level exact here if we didn't, grab support at around that $4,000 range before doing its parabolic move up. Now, so basically all assets in this game are not safe no matter what. Bitcoin will not be safe. It will also experience the dump, but we don't know where it's going to fall at because we don't know where the top point is. If Bitcoin tops out at my key level of, like, say for so 75K, okay, and it does an 80% recorrect, it would bring it to about, $15,000. I think this is more, of a good level to really see. I think this is, strong. I think this is a really strong indicator that, this is what could happen. Now, again, if that's the top, then we also have to reimagine the top being for this around, give or take, if we do 10, an 80% would be about $2 where we bottom out at. Again, we don't really know what's going to happen because we can't really analyze the top yet being in because, we don't have that price action yet. But once we do have that price action, we will be able to see where we do go. But all we know for a fact is that we are ranging to go to the all-time high, and once the all-time high is broken, then we go into price discovery in which we hit the targets of, $10, $20, $30, depending on where, the price action ensues and what actually happens with the SEC case. But nonetheless, guys, this has been Nick. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys do want to turn notifications on, please do. I'm always uploading some really good content, always trying to get the best out for all of you guys and get you guys that free content that you all love. And if you guys do want more, pretty much free content, make sure to follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial and also join the Discord that's in the description below, and it's also in my pinned tweet. But guys, this has been Nick. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for the support. Peace out.